What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video from me, Jeremy from Jeremy's Wild World. I'm going to be here on the Spider Shop channel today, rehousing the Peloctonus hematosoma. These are commonly known as the Red Fang Wandering Spiders, and today I'll be setting up an enclosure for it to show you guys how to set them up if you guys are interested in getting any wandering spider species. So without further ado, let's get into the video by showcasing this gorgeous adult female Peloctonus hematosoma. Alright guys, so today we're going to be starting off by showcasing the Peloctonus hematosoma. Now these are a gorgeous species of wandering spider from the Cetenidae family, coming from Cameroon. Now they are also found throughout Africa, but the main imports that come into the UK are from Cameroon. So I've just popped open the lid here, guys. Now I do want to say again that I do work with true spiders fairly often, so I'm not worried about this spider running away on me, but I want to get the lid off so I can showcase these gorgeous colorations for you. So you can see where they get the common name Red Fang Wandering Spider from those gorgeous red fangs at the front. This is an adult female. Now they do vary in size. This is on the smaller side, but absolutely stunning nevertheless. Look at those patternings on the abdomen, the nice colors of browns and stuff like that. Now typically what people think of wandering spiders is super aggressive spiders, you know, deadly as well, with the Brazilian wandering spider being on the DWA list. But the majority of the Cetenidae family or the wandering spider family are harmless and or not medically significant. And that's what I want to showcase in today's video, is that rehousing these, although they can be quite quick if handled, and I don't mean actually handling it appropriately, these spiders are very enjoyable to keep. Watching them hunt at night and wandering around their enclosure is going to be absolutely fantastic. So now that you've had a look at this gorgeous red fang female, let's take a look at the enclosure that I'm going to be rehousing her into today. So now that you guys have had a look at the Peloctonus hematosoma, now we're going to be showcasing what I'm going to be housing this spider into. Now with the Peloctonus hematosoma, as I mentioned, they are from the Cetenidae family or the wandering spider family. As a common name suggests, wandering spider, they do like to wander around their enclosure at night. They do like to utilize both terrestrial and arboreal space, but you do want to have an enclosure that's fairly tall. You can rehouse them in a variety of enclosures. I currently have another female in an Exoterra enclosure. You can have them in acrylic, bra plus cubes, you know, stuff like that. But the enclosure that I'm going to be showcasing today is the Spider Shop's Invertarium. Now this is a fantastic terrarium for any various species of invertebrates, as you can see, for millipedes, wolf spiders, tarantulas as well. And what I found with this style enclosure is that it's got quite a fair bit of height, but not too flat, and as you can see on the label too, they are stackable. So if you guys are looking for something that is a nice display, you can have these stacked on top of each other in like a shelving unit or something like that. But the main reason as well that I went with the Invertarium, guys, is because of the side opening lid. Now the one thing that people are worried about with true spiders in general, huntsman spiders, wolf spiders, is speed. And if you are worried about that, guys, and you are wanting to get a red fang or similar quick spiders, you can utilize this side lid. Instead of having to open the entire lid, you just pop the prey item in and just close it up like so. So I think this is an absolutely fantastic product for rehousing wandering spiders into, or just, you know, any type of semi-arboreal or arboreal huntsman. I would personally stick to wandering spiders with this enclosure. With the huntsman, you probably want a little bit more height because they don't utilize the ground that much area. So yeah, this is perfect for wandering spiders, and as of course, check out the Spider Shop for this style enclosure. I do believe they come in various sizes too. So now that we've had a look at the enclosure, let's get this set up for this gorgeous wandering spider. Alright, so now that we've got the enclosure here, we're going to set this up for the Peloctonus hematosoma. So a couple things that you want to keep in mind when setting up an enclosure for a wandering spider is ventilation, which the lid of this enclosure has, a bit of height for them to climb around, and a lot of surface area, because at night these spiders will be wandering around their enclosure, hence the common name, wandering spider, looking for prey items and leaving out scent trails if they're wanting to breed, etc. So let's start off with the substrate mix. So starting off with the base substrate mix, which of course is my go-to topsoil and peat moss. So you don't need a lot of substrate for these guys, mainly because of the fact that they don't bury or anything. The substrate's just going to be there to keep humidity in the enclosure. Now I'm also going to be adding a little bit of sand mix that I have here. So this is a mix of different sands, some dried soil. These bits here is some excavator clay. You don't necessarily need this, but I like to add sand because it helps hold in that humidity as well. So I'll just go ahead and use my hands to mix this up. Now you can have a thick layer, thin layer, depending on if you want to put plants in here. Today I'm not going to be putting any live plants, but you can do Again, the live plants do help out with humidity, which is good for these spiders as they do require humidity in order to molt properly. So there we go. That's a nice substrate depth right there. So now, for me personally, I like to use wood that I've collected, so I'm going to use a couple pieces of this wood here. So what you want to give them is slanted pieces in the invertarium. Now the reason for the slanted pieces is because if they were to be a smaller specimen, you'd want an angled area for them to hang off to molt. So like so, this will be absolutely perfect for them. Or I might even have this piece here. Let's see, let's do it like that. There we go, that looks good. So yeah, some slanted pieces in here. And then what I'm also going to add in is some leaf litter. Again, this is just for aesthetic reasons. Don't necessarily need to have it, but it does add some nice varied look within the enclosure. So sprinkle those in there. Like so. And then one of my go-tos is some moss. Now moss is great for the wandering spiders because it does help with humidity. Although they do come from Cameroon, they do come from more humid areas, so it's good to have some moss in there in order to keep up the humidity. So this is the enclosure, guys. I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. Now you can add a little bit more substrate, you can add other bits and bobs into the enclosure, just do whatever you like, but so long as you have some angled areas for them to hide underneath and molt from if needed, moss in a corner to keep up humidity, and a very good substrate base mix, you can basically set up the enclosure however you want. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how this enclosure looks. It's quite simplistic, but it looks quite nice in general. So now that this enclosure is done, let's get the spider. So now we move on to the final part of today's video, which is going to be rehousing this Peloctonus hematosoma. But one last time, just going over the enclosure. So starting off with substrate mix, you can use whatever you want as long as it holds humidity. You don't want it to be sopping wet, but you do want some humidity in there for these spiders, because despite coming from Africa, they do like to stay quite humid in areas like grasslands and stuff like that. Forested areas they come from, living in trunks and lower trees and stuff like that. Some moss in a corner in order to help with the humidity, so both the substrate and the humidity from the moss keeps a nice air humidity in the enclosure, but it does have nice ventilation as well on all sides of the lid, which helps with not leaving stagnant air and allowing fresh air to come in. Some angled pieces of wood, you can use whatever you want, cork bark, other different types of bark. I just like to use bark that I've collected personally, and some leaf litter for aesthetic looks. And yeah, so that is pretty much the enclosure. Let's get this girl inside. And another thing that's fantastic about this enclosure is because of the size tubs that they will send these spiders in, you can literally just open the lid. If you are again worried about the speed of these spiders, pop it in, open the lid, like so. Right there. And then I'll use some tongs just to encourage her out. Nice gentle taps. And they will get encouraged to move forward, like so. There you go. That's the speed that you'll typically see them in, fairly chilled out and less spooked. There we go, so I'll just turn the enclosure here so you guys can see from the side. Oh, it looks like she's already gone to the top. And I can just take out the pot like so, and close the lid. As simple as that, guys. Wandering spiders are a fantastic addition to anyone's collection. The way that they take down prey is absolutely fantastic, and don't fall for the stigma of the Brazilian wandering spiders that unfortunately give a bad reputation for the whole wandering spider family in general. But nevertheless, I really enjoy working with these spiders. I keep various species of wandering spiders, have bred a few species as well. And yeah, so as you can see right here, she's tucked into the piece of bark like so. This is how they'll typically sit throughout the day. And then at night time they'll come out and wander around. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And when I want to feed her, pop that open, close the side. If you guys are worried about them getting out, which they won't if they're comfortable, but nevertheless, absolutely fantastic. Again, check out the spider shop if you haven't already for all your true spider and enclosure needs and anything else that you need invertebrate wise. That is the end of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's the end of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it. me rehousing the Peloctonus hematosoma. Once again, a massive shout out to the Spider Shop for allowing me to make the video on the YouTube channel for them, and hopefully in the future I'll be doing many more. Let them know down in the comments below for any specific species you would like to see me do videos on. Miscellaneous stuff, I keep various species, so I'm more than happy to try and make a rehousing video for any species that they have on the website. So that's all for me today, guys. Do check out the channel, Jeremy's Wild World. I'm really active on there, posting videos, and on my social media as well, on the various species I keep in my collection. That's all for me today, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.